ভারতীয় মহাকাশ যখন মঙ্গলের উদ্দেশ্যে পাড়ি দিয়েছে, ইসরো যখন চাইছে মহাকাশ গবেষণায় ভারতীয় নিশানকে শক্তিশালী করতে, ঠিক তখনই কলকাতার লা মার্টিনি ফর গার্লসের স্পেস এবং অ্যাস্ট্রোনমি শীর্ষ কনফারেন্স উপলক্ষে কলকাতায় এসে ঘুরে গেলেন বিশিষ্ট মহাকাশচারী বিল অফলিন। ব্যস্ত শিডিউলের মাঝেও ক্যালকলিংয়ের সঙ্গে এক অন্তরঙ্গ আলাপচারিতায় তিনি জানালেন শহর কলকাতার প্রতি তার ভালো লাগা, মহাকাশ গবেষণায় ভারতবর্ষের ভূমিকা এবং শিক্ষামূলক স্তরে মহাকাশ গবেষণাকে ব্যবহার সহ তার একাধিক একান্ত ভাবনা চিন্তার নানান কথা।
It is my first time in both Calcutta and in India. It's been wonderful. I've been here just a day. I got in last night, and the people are amazingly gracious and kind. And the students that I've been with today, they're very polite, respectful. You can just feel their energy, their desire to learn. Seminar is about peace and science, and it's been a really neat experience. These kids are very motivated to not only do good in science, but to do good in school. And they understand that there's a lot of technologies out there. For instance, we just talked about nanoscience and nanotechnology and the ways that you can use that peacefully, like building new solar panels, building new sensors, building things that when we start going on to, back to the moon, onto Mars, and we need these new ways of doing things, lighter solar panels, stronger materials. They understand that nanotechnology can be applied to these peaceful uses for humankind to go out and explore the solar system and beyond. Oh, it was, the experience of spaceflight is amazing. I mean, it's being able to float around and, just everything you kind of have to relearn, how to eat up in space, how to use the restroom in space, sleeping in space. It's all kind of new when you don't have gravity. So you just relearn some of that, and it was an amazing experience. And I think as we continue forward, more and more people will be able to experience that and come back and share it with people. And eventually we're going to be a spacefaring humanity. Right now we've had the space station out there for many years, and we're going to continue to man that and continue to reach beyond that, beyond low Earth orbit. And
how many hours you spent in space?
I spent about 300 hours, a little over.
300 hours?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the first thing is just find something you enjoy doing and do it very well. Do really good in school, study hard, apply yourself, but you need to find that passion. You need to find something that gets you out of bed, gets you motivated, gives you that thirst for knowledge. I was an engineer by academics, by school, but I became a pilot. But that engineering allowed me to become a test pilot, and all shuttle pilots are test pilots. So if you want to be an astronaut or anything successful for that matter, you just have to really apply yourself. And you have to be doing something you really enjoy, because if you're doing something you don't enjoy, you're really not going to be that motivated to try to excel at it. So for me, flying airplanes, I love flying airplanes, so it was easy to go out there and want to do it every day and become the best pilot I could, and that led me eventually to becoming a space shuttle pilot. Well, I'm just telling them to work really hard in school, and then also not just be good in academics, but find other interests. Like for me, I did sports. I was very avid in outdoors, and at least in NASA, they were interested not only in what you did in school, but also what you did outside of school, what we call rounding yourself out to become more of a well-rounded person. You do a lot of different things, because when you go in space, you need to do a lot of different things. My own experience, I was a pilot, but when we got up there, I was also a medical officer. I was a robotics arm operator. I was a person that suited up the spacewalkers and choreographed, talked them all through their procedures. So you have to be able to do a lot of things. You can't just say I'm a good mathematician, so I should go into space. You got to be good at a lot of different things. So I try to tell them that be good at what you do, but make sure you round yourself out and pursue some of your other interests that just might not be in the books, but maybe you like to play cricket, maybe you like to do some of these other things, and go out and excel. And that also builds things like teamwork and goal orientation and achieving your goals. Well, absolutely. One of my crewmates was part Indian, Sonny Williams. She was a crewmate of mine back on STS-116, so I have firsthand experience that there are Indians and people of Indian origin that make not only great scientists but also outstanding astronauts. So, you know, they're only limited by the things that they want to do. They shouldn't feel that because they're from here or there or don't have this or only have this. You know, if you want to go out and do something, just go ahead and go out and do it. Don't limit yourself. Just go out and at least give it a try. You don't want to be some old man or woman and say, boy, if I only could have or would have or tried this. You know, don't be afraid to fail. I mean, we all fail at when we're trying to do great things. It's nothing to be afraid of, and it's nothing to be worried about. Oh yeah, like other places. Sure, you know, I've given just this year a talk in Sweden. I was at an event there. I was in Germany talking to some schools there with an organization called the Association of Space Explorers. Back in Alaska, my hometown, I do some events there. So I think it's, even though I'm not with NASA anymore, it is important to continue to carry the message out, I think, for people to go out and explore, to apply themselves in technology. You know, it's not for everybody. Some people like the liberal arts, and that's fine, but we do need people that are interested in science and math and engineering to continue to pursue those fields and then take those on, and some lead them into the space field, which I think is, particularly in this day and age, a very blossoming field with commercial space in the United States. I've been involved in a little bit of that over the past couple of years, and I think it's important that we feed that new industry with some of these young scientists and engineers, and you know, you have some great schools here that have the ability to do that. Well, I'm at this time I'm not actually with NASA. I retired from NASA, although I was at some NASA functions this summer. So this is just from I would say not an official NASA view, but I know, you know, the International Space Station is a very good example of international cooperation and a lot of countries coming together to build and operate a single spacecraft. And there's no reason to think in the future that NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization or any other organization like that couldn't do the same thing in the future. It's, you know, India's proven that they have a very strong interest in space, and I don't see why that would not go well with NASA's plans to go back out and to explore the solar system. Well, you're really physically, you don't have to be a fast runner or a big weightlifter, but you do have to have a good heart. You know, like you can't have high blood pressure. You know, all your internal organs need to be good. So what that means is you're living a healthy lifestyle. You're eating good. You're getting some exercise, but you don't have to go out and run marathons. You don't have to be able to bench press 400 pounds or, you know, 200 kilos. You just have to be in good physical shape, but also take care of your insides. You know, make sure you're eating right, you're getting the right kind of exercise as well. And then that's the kind of physical shape that you need to be in to end up going into space. Because space flight, when you do get up there, particularly on these long duration flights, you do work out for an hour or two every day, because if you don't, you start losing muscle mass and bone density and some of these other things that start manifesting themselves when you're outside of Earth's gravity.